Let's bring in retired NASA astronaut Clayton Astro Clay Anderson and Charles Camarda, also a former NASA shuttle astronaut. Great to have both of you here. Okay, we are now, I think, we're about 1 minute from takeoff. I'm going to hear in my ear if they've got any delays as we listen for the countdown. No delays, I'm told, and they're going through their final checks. So, guys, Clayton, I'll start with you. An engineering exec at SpaceX admitted it's been a rough start of the year for Starship. There's a lot riding on this launch tonight.
Yeah, spaceflight is hard. The neat thing that I see with SpaceX is they keep going, they keep pushing the envelope, they keep trying to do it right. So let's hope today is that first success for them.
All right, Starship Flight 9 is expected, I think it's going to last about an hour, they say, and it's going to go along the same path as the doomed Flight 8, using the same booster that launched the doomed Flight 7. SpaceX says both Flight 7 and 8 exploded for very different reasons. What do we know about what those different reasons are, Charles?
I'm not sure if we know all the details. One of them, it seemed to be, I think, Starship 7 was a leak in the propellant system, which caused the explosion.
Okay.
The other one could have been an engine that basically had a dynamic issue, a resonance issue, which caused a structural failure, caused it to come apart, to the best of that we can divine out from what SpaceX is letting us know.
All right, we're going to listen in now as we get to the final countdown. We should be closing in on 10 seconds to liftoff. Let's listen in.
We did have a hold, and looks like the clock jumped back to T-minus 40 seconds.
All right, so yep, we jumped out. I did not see the deflector go off. So hopefully we were right at around that T-minus 10-second mark.
And if we were before that T-minus 10-second mark, we do have the ability to recycle, as we mentioned earlier, back to T-minus 40 seconds.
So it looked like this time it was a ground side issue. We're taking a look at this real quick. So again, we're back at T-minus 40. We're gonna hold for a little bit.
Okay,
we are still
Clayton,
not
what might be going on here?
Well, anytime you're prepping for a launch like this, a lot of people are looking at a lot of data. And if anybody sees some data that's not where it's supposed to be, then they call for a hold and they try to check it out and see if they can figure out what's going wrong and make sure it's corrected before they lift off. So I would guess it's something like that.
They said it was something toward the bottom of it sounds like with the booster. Does that make sense to you?
Well, the booster is going to be the most important part of this today, in that it's where the engines live, and they want to make sure all those engines are doing what they're supposed to do. As they prep for the launch, they'll be checking the data for each and every engine and making sure it's within limits. And if anything gets outside of limits, then that causes people to check into it more deeply.
All right, it's worth noting, this is, not only is there a lot riding on today's flight for SpaceX, this is it's the most powerful space rocket ship, I guess, booster and ship, ever built on Earth. And they're hoping that it will be ready to go to Mars next year. And it's an extraordinary feat of engineering that they have managed to accomplish. Charles, talk about the ambitions SpaceX has and why this is so important, especially after Flight 7 and 8 exploding around 10 minutes after taking off, why they're so anxious that Flight 9 goes smoothly.
Well, this is the one that really has to go perfectly. And that's what we're hoping for. I mean, we've had many failures, several failures with this vehicle, and they have some major hurdles to pass. They have some definitely difficult technical problems with the thermal protection systems, the engines, things that they have to get right. And don't forget, this also impacts the Artemis program and the Artemis 3 mission considerably.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.